Hello everyone, it's me, Jenna Ryan with Self Love You. I am so excited. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to let go of an ex that you just cannot let go of, that you're still in love with, that you're so attached to, and you may even be a little obsessed with this person. You just can't seem to let go. Um, what I'm going to talk to you about is going to get pretty deep. You're probably not used to some of the things that I'm going to talk about today because I'm going to go down to the gut level, down to the core of who you are, which is what is really the part of you that's hanging on to this person who is not giving you what you need. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to let go of someone that you're still in love with that has rejected you or has left you for another person or has treated you poorly and you really need to let go of, and you know this. However, everything inside of you tells you that you love this person and you actually feel in your heart like you would take them back no matter what they did. Like, I don't care if they're cheating on you, I don't care if they are using you, I don't care what they are doing, but you feel like you want them so badly, that they are so vital to your well-being that you'll let them do anything and you just want to take them back. So I'm just going to go over some things about that kind of love. First of all, let me just start by saying that is not love. That is not love. That is sickness. That is need. That is codependency. And that is the absolute opposite of self-love. You are not loving yourself if you are going to love someone else to your detriment. Loving someone else to your detriment is not love. That is sickness, okay? Let's just get that out of the way right now. Anytime that you love someone, even though they have blatantly disrespected you, they're blatantly rejecting you, they're blatantly cheating on you, they're doing all kinds of things to be harmful to you, this is not love. This is a sick need that has its roots in your childhood. And it can bring you nothing but harm, nothing but pain. It's codependency at its worst, and it can get ugly. It can get very, very ugly. So let's talk a little bit about this. You know, I know that to you, you love this person and you feel a need for this person and you long for this person. You may be, maybe you slept with this man. Maybe you're a woman. This is not just for women though. Men have the same thing, okay? It's just the opposite. You know, it doesn't matter. We all have this, where you really want somebody who is rejecting you, who is walking out the door, who is turning their back on you, who is telling you that you're not enough, you're not this, that, or the other. This is, okay, so this is happening, and you have this need and this want, and you think about this person when you wake up in the morning. You think about this person while you're driving down the road. You think about this person. You may go to their Facebook. You may stalk their Facebook. You may see that they're happy in some other relationship. You may call them. You may text them. There's all kinds of things that we can do whenever we have this issue. What I would like to say is that this is not love, that this is a need, a sick need. It's unmet needs left over from childhood. It's unmet need. It's not a real love and it's not a real need. And so it's important that we get honest with ourselves and realize that although on the surface it looks like I love this person, this man, this woman, it's not this man or this woman that you love, that you're missing, that you're pining for, that you're needing, that you're hurting for, and that you're wanting against all odds. It's not a person. It's not Jimmy. It's not, you know, Marco. It's not this person. It's not that person. It's not this girl. It's not that girl. This is actually something inside of you left over from childhood, unmet needs that caused you to now have a feeling that you want someone that is not good for you, okay? And it's not a real need. And so the key to letting go is figuring out what is really going on. Because as long as you're thinking that it's about, you know, what's a cool name? I don't know, Jack. That's not a cool name, but it's not a bad name. I'm just saying it's Jack, okay? As long as you realize that it's not really Jack that you're wanting. See, that's the problem, is people don't realize that there's a lot more going on underneath the surface than what you think. It's not Jack that you're wanting. It's the need to be filled that wasn't filled long ago that's still begging to be filled. And what you've done is mentally, you've denied all that crap and you're projecting this need that won't go away onto Jack or onto Julie. Okay? So it could be your parent, it could be a father, it could be a mother, it could be either or, it doesn't matter. It's that love that you needed when you were a child. And so what you're really needing to let go of is not Jack or Julie. What you're really needing to let go of is that unmet need. And the only way that you can let go of that unmet need left over from your childhood is if you meet it on your own. And the only way you're going to be able to meet it on your own is if you acknowledge that it's there and you face it. Otherwise, it doesn't matter if it's Jack, then it's going to be Michael, then it's going to be, I'm trying to think of cool names. You know, it's going to be another guy, or another girl. You're always going to set up the same scenario where they're walking out the door and you're pining away. Because your system, your psyche is set on rotate, repeat. It's called repetition compulsion. It's a Freudian concept, but it's so true. It's repetition compulsion. Our mind, we have these circuitry in our mind. We keep playing the same thing over and over again until it is completed. And so what you have to do if you want to let go of this guy or this girl that you're so obsessed with is you're going to have to work on yourself. You're going to have to do personal development, because you may get over this person. Another guy, another girl may come along and fill their shoes, but you're going to pick the same kind of person, the kind of person that's going to leave you, and the kind of person that's going to leave you high and dry, leave you aching, leave you pining, leave you watching YouTube videos on how to let go. So unless you go in and do the work on yourself, you're going to be stuck forever in repeat. And you may even get a long-term relationship, but that person will always be 1 foot out the door. You'll always be chasing after them unless you work on the unmet need within, because that's what it truly is. It's not feeling like we're enough because we didn't get our needs met when we were little. So we don't feel like we're enough, so we feel like we have to get it externally. And unfortunately, the way our programming is programmed, we seek it in people that are unable to give it because we're on repeat. The Freudian system of repetition compulsion. We're repeating again and again. We're trying to get it right. We're trying to make someone who doesn't love me, okay? And you're going to be really good at picking out the guys and the girls that don't love you. I mean, you're going to be champion at that. If you're sitting here and you're watching this video, how to let go of someone that you need to let go of, that means you have unmet needs in your childhood and you have a pattern of people not meeting your needs and not getting your needs met. And it means that you're looking externally to get these needs met. But unfortunately, the time to get these needs met was only in childhood. That was the only time it could be done externally by your parents. And a lot of times parents don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it right. Maybe their needs weren't met. And so that was the only chance for you to get it done externally. And if it didn't get done externally, that means you, as yourself, are going to have to go back and unravel everything and do the work yourself and meet your own needs. The good news is that it's possible. The bad news is it's really hard. And the next news is you can't live without it, because you will have a life of misery without it. It doesn't get any better from here. Okay? So the first thing you want to do if you want to let go of somebody is you want to search within yourself for the truth for why am I really in love with Jack? Why? What is it? Jack, generally speaking, in these kind of situations, he's done something really wrong. Usually whenever we can't let go of someone, it's someone who's totally not good for us. It's not this angel person who is wonderful to us and treats us well. It's somebody who's walking out the door, who's rejecting us, who's told us we're not good enough, who's told us that, we're not enough for them. It can be a narcissistic person, a sociopathic person, a psychopath. It could be anybody. Why? Why am I loving this person? What is the pattern here in my relationships? Has this happened before? And then begin to look back into your childhood, even into your parents. which heaven forbid can be one of the hardest parts about this process. But I told you in the beginning that this is going to be deep. And this all has to do with your parents, I hate to say. You'll take this person that's walking out the door and that you're pining away for, and you're trying to get to love you and wishing they would love you, and I guarantee you're going to see a pattern of your own parents if you really look at the truth. If you won't look at the truth, if you have your denial blinders on, then you're never going to get to the bottom of this. You may not be mature enough in your development, your psychological development, to see the truth. But the day that you are awake enough to see the truth and really face the fact about your parents, that they probably had some of this in them, where you've always been chasing after them in some form or fashion, it can get really tricky here. That's why it's so hard to do a video on this. Dang, this is a lot deeper than you think. It's not like just 1, 2, 3, oh, here's how you let go. No, we're talking, you're not just hanging on to a man or to a woman. You're hanging on to something you needed and you never got, okay? This is not a person that's all that great, that you put on a pedestal, that you idolize. This is like something that you need, and that's why you cannot let go. Because if it were somebody that were really good for you, you don't feel that it's just a good feeling. It's kind of boring even. It's just kind of, wow, nice. But the kind of need that we're talking about, where you cannot let go of someone who's hurting you, is a lot, it's sick. It's not healthy, and it's in our culture, and it's encouraged by our culture, but that doesn't make it right, because you need to love people who love you back, and you need to love people who have your back. You need to love people who love you, but the problem is they don't feel comfortable. They feel boring, or they don't feel comfortable. They only feel comfortable if they're mean and nasty and using you and exploiting you and treating you badly. But the problem is that we have neural pathways that are stuck in the old patterns. That's part of that repetition compulsion, because when we're in our development, our relationship, internal working model of relationships is developed. And so it doesn't change just because we turn into adults. We go into life with the same patterns from childhood. It's exactly the same. I mean, literally, it's amazing. Now, you can heal in some ways, but you will, unless you do the work yourself, you look at it, have awareness, and meet these issues head on, you're going to continue to repeat. Whether or not you want to believe that, whether or not you want to face that, whether or not you'd rather be in denial and be defended against it, that's up to you. But I'm telling you, what you have to do is, if you have this unmet need, these unmet needs, then you're going to have to do a lot of things. But one of those things is to recreate neural pathways that are correct, that are good. And a lot of times when you don't have the internal working model and the neural pathways, which is, the synapses firing in your brain that say, okay, this guy loves you, he's being good to you, and he's available to you, and he wants to be good to you, and he wants to be nice to you, and he's doing things to make you feel special, and he is displaying to you that he feels that you're enough for him. And the old internal working model is not going to be accepting of that. It's going to go, ugh, this guy likes me. Where's the guy who hates me? I want that one. Where's the one who spits on me? Not literally, but sometimes literally. Where's the one who hits me? Where's the one who leaves me out in the cold? Where's the one who cheats on me? Where's the one who doesn't want me? That's the one that feels right, because when you were a child, you were imprinted. This is huge. This has taken me so much work to get this. You were imprinted. You were imprinted towards a rejecting type of person. If you were imprinted towards a rejecting type of person because your parents were rejecting towards you, then you're always going to be like a baby duck following its mother. But instead of following, you're following rejection. And whenever someone's good to you and nice to you, it's going to feel like crap. So what do you have to do? What's the answer? The answer is to rebuild, or to build for the first time, neural pathways that are good. And so that means it will feel uncomfortable at first. You may spend time with a gal who's actually sweet to you and kind to you, and can connect with you and can be intimate with you and can be honest with you and not cheat you and not boss you around and treat you like crap, but it feels uncomfortable to you. So you have to allow yourself to be in situations and not feel comfortable as these neural pathways are being built. That's a huge part of it. It's hard. You have to realize who you're really holding on to. You're not really holding on to Jack. You're not really holding on to Julie. These are just projections of unmet need from your childhood. So you cannot possibly get over this if you're idolizing Julie. You can't get over her if you're idolizing her. You've got to see this for what it is. I can tell you this, and it can come into your mind, and I can tell you all day, but until you get it in your heart and you really understand that it's not Julie that you're in love with, it's not Jack that you can't live without, it's that unmet need, it's that part of you that never got what it needed, that never was told, that was never conveyed by your parents that you're worth it, that you're worthy, that you're worth loving, that you're worth treating right. So as such, you're running after people who are pushing you away. And that feels comfortable, even though the pain is so great. It's horrible pain. And we can get over this. And this is something that I've gone through. And I cannot tell you the freedom of knowing these things. So allow yourself to face reality about what's really going on. Don't pretend that you're following after someone because of them and that you're less than. Realize that you are somebody and you're worth being treated well. And that just because this person does not want to be with you, it doesn't say anything about you. Once you unhook your worth from this person who's walking out your door, you will find it much easier to let go. And by let go, I mean stop thinking about them 24 hours a day. Stop trying to reconcile. Stop belittling yourself, disrespecting yourself, letting your dignity be a doormat. You can stop doing that once you realize that it's all about what's going on within you. It has nothing to do with this person. You've idolized this person and made this person into somebody that they absolutely are not. You're giving them way more credit than they deserve. In fact, you are taking your good qualities that you don't want to see in yourself and you're projecting them onto Julie. Those qualities are not hers, they're in you and you're projecting them onto her. If she's shoving you away, chances are she has her own issues to deal with. She could be narcissistic, incapable of love. She could, that's people that have this inability to let go, people like us who fall in love with people who are rejecting, the chances of them, it's codependent behavior. Chances of the person we fall in love with being a narcissist are like, I would say 90 to 100. The person's probably narcissistic, probably a narcissist. And it doesn't mean that they're like your typical narcissist creep. They could just be a covert narcissist, sweet as pie, that you would never know. But chances of them being a narcissist and you being a codependent are very, very high if you are somebody who cannot let go of an ex and you're wanting that person and longing for that person morning, night, and day. You feel that person inside. And I'm making fun of it because I've gotten over it. Barely, but I am over it. And I tell you what, the pain is unbelievable. And it can cause physical pain in your body. Okay, here's another important thing. Don't be extreme when you're letting go. There's a tendency when you're letting go to split. Because part of this whole process, you're in love with somebody that doesn't love you. It shows me, and anybody who knows about childhood development and psychological development, that you're kind of arrested. You have arrested development at a developmental stage that didn't get completed. You didn't get a milestone completed somewhere back whenever you were being developed. I can't tell you exactly where, but I'm sure someone could pinpoint exactly where. But it comes from traumatic childhood. It comes from not getting your needs met as a child. And part of that development, you get stuck in a developmental stage where you split. People are either good or bad. They're black or white. And so there's a tendency for some of you, I don't know, for me this was the case, to ricochet. Like one day he's the greatest guy on earth, and then the next day, in order to try to get away, in order to try to let go, I felt like I had to make him into a demon. Okay? Or, oh, you know, and it was kind of a pattern in my family growing up, is, you know, where people would become bad. And we would be like, oh, he's a piece of shit. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, he's a creep. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. You know, even if you're calling somebody a creep and you're bad and you're splitting them, you're still caught up. You're still caught up in that whole dynamic. Whether you're calling them an angel and you're idolizing them, or you're devaluing them and calling them the biggest creeps that you've ever known, you're still caught up. The key is to let go, is to truly let go. When you truly let go, you're really facing what you're dealing with, and you're realizing it's not him or her, and I don't need to demonize this person. Now, it's good to understand about different personality disorders so that you can recognize them and learn more about yourself, because you're just a reflection. People around you are a reflection of what you're needing. So calling him a creep or calling her a creep or putting her down or hating her is not the answer. It actually gets you more caught up. It gets you more geared up and queued up. You really just need to step back and say, you know what? It doesn't matter what she is. This has nothing to do with her. This is all within me. And I'm working on me. This is not about her. The letting go needs to happen within me. And I need to let go of what I'm thinking is going to solve this emptiness. And what's going to solve this emptiness is not this man or this woman. What's going to solve this emptiness is if I meet myself underneath all this bull crap, and I see that I am the one who's hurting, and that I am the one who has abandoned myself. I have let go of myself because I never knew how. I was never plugged in. I was never queued up for myself. And so now I'm going elsewhere outside, trying to find myself, trying to find my peace in this person who's walking out the door, because that's what I've been imprinted to do. And now I've got to meet myself at that need, meet that unmet need, which I'll do videos on. Maybe if y'all give me good comments, I might do videos. I was so excited. Y'all gave me all these great comments on one of my videos, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a video. Thank you for liking it and sharing it. I appreciate that. And you also have to, this is a lot of work that you have to do. Y'all didn't expect this, did you? Another thing is you have to unearth negative core beliefs that you hold about yourself. And that's the cognitive side. That's your brain, how your brain works. Because you're thinking you're not worth it. And that's because you have beliefs inside that tell you you're not worth it. And all this stuff comes together. And all this stuff works together. So here's another hard part. You really need to face that this person that you need to let go of does not care about you. One of the things we do is we project things onto them, and we read things onto them, and we want them so much to care about us that we project our care onto them. But the fact is they don't care about you if they're walking out the door and dating other people. They don't. I mean, they may care, but they don't care. Not the way you need them to care, and not the way you think that they care. No, there's nothing you can do to change them. There's nothing you can do to prove yourself. There's nothing you can do. If they cannot see right away that you're worthy, that you deserve respect, then they don't care about you. They don't have the capacity to care about you unless they go and do some severe personal development. And that would take probably years. You know, they would need to do personal development just like you need to do. They cannot change. You cannot change them, and you cannot prove yourself to them. So look closely at your relationship patterns. See what keeps happening over and over. And you'll be able to see and uncover your repetition compulsion that you keep, your imprint for relationships. And if you go, and then you can go all the way back to childhood, and you can see, oh, my parent, mom or dad were like that. And that's really the hardest part. And what comes in that little area is grief. You have to grieve. You have to face what you lost, what you didn't get, what you keep telling yourself you did. You keep making your parents okay. You've got to face the fact that things weren't okay, number one. And number two, you have to grieve. You have to cry. There's like probably a whole lot of tears inside. I would say to the level that you are unable to let go of a bad person, a person that's bad for you. I don't think any person's bad necessarily. I'm just saying a person that's not treating you well. To the degree that you hurt is the degree that you need to hurt for what happened to you when you were little. And that's the grief that you need to allow to come to the surface. You really need help with that. You need a therapist who can walk you through that, because that can be a tumultuous thing, but it will change your life, and it's so freeing. So that is my, unshallow version of how to let go of someone who's bad for you. Okay? Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for your comments. They mean the world to me. And I wish you all the best in your quest to let go. I'm Jenna Ryan with Self Love You. Talk to you soon.